And I make this comment, any one of the three of you can comment on it, but I've been rather hoping, after the President thought about this for some time, that we would have a clearer picture than what we have. And with all due respect, I'm just not getting a clear picture. I listened to the President very carefully, and he told us we were going to start leaving in July of 2011. Then I asked Gates about it the next day, and he said it was a target. I don't know where we are. Are we in or are we out? And then they talk about reviewing at this time or another time. Then the thing that really bothered me was I listened to Karzai yesterday. He was standing alongside Gates, and he starts talking about 15 years. Now, I don't know whether he wasn't listening to the President or what. The President said, well, we're not going to give an open-ended commitment there. Well, probably to Karzai, 15 years is an open-ended commitment. But I got to tell you, to the people of the United States, 15 years is an open-ended commitment. I don't know whose job it is to sit down with them and look them in the eye and say, look, you're dreaming. This is not going to happen. But we just need a lot more clarity than what we're getting. And I have every confidence that our United States military, if given a mission, they will go in, they will accomplish that mission. But unfortunately, it seems like always the military mission gets mixed with what our overall goals are there. And I'm just not happy about what's come out of the last week. And I was sincerely hoping that we would get there. So have at it, whoever wants to comment on it.
Why don't I start, Senator, and just to talk about the difference between July 2011 and the nature of our long-term commitment to Afghanistan. The President did not say that in July 2011 our relationship with Afghanistan would end. It would be the beginning of Afghanistan taking over areas. It would give our military, the ability to begin to draw down. I think that all of us see a long-term relationship with Afghanistan, particularly on the civilian side, that's going to have to go on for many years. The questions that have been raised about the magnitude of the commitments, those are very serious questions. We take them very seriously. We're not in this alone. It's an international effort where we have to work with international partners to take this responsibility, not just on the United States. I think that the signal that we're sending is very clear that the buildup of troops is headed towards a crescendo and then will start to come down. There will be other parts. If you look at Iraq, we're building up certain civilian capacities in Iraq right now as our military withdraws. So we're taking over certain responsibilities. I think we have to look at the different parts of it separately, and it shouldn't be a source of confusion. It's progress when the military is able to leave and civilian programs can step in and have a more normal relationship.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. The difficulty is I really question whether you're going to have the same security situation in Afghanistan that you have in Iraq right now, looking forward to July of 2011. I hope I'm wrong. But in addition to that, the financial commitment to stand up their army and police, particularly over the period of time that Karzai is talking about it, I don't think the American people are going to accept that.
Senator, if I could just augment what Secretary Lew had said, our goal is, we all agree, is on as rapidly as possible have an Afghan government that can provide for their security of their own people and deny a sanctuary for al-Qaeda. The July 2011 date is very important in one regard. The Afghan people, they're a very insecure people given their history, given the neighborhood that they live in. But at the same time, 8 years after our arrival, there's a growing sense among the Afghans they want to take charge. They want to take control of their sovereignty. There is a desire among the Afghans to lead with security, to develop their police and their army. President Karzai in his inaugural address was very clear when he said a goal 5 years from now. He wants Afghanistan's security forces to be in charge throughout the country. That's a good goal that we should be reinforcing. This July 2011 date is, in a sense, a good forcing function for the Afghans now in partnership with us to stand up and accelerate the development of their army and police. So at that point in time, they're ready to transition, start taking lead for security in certain parts of the country. The final point I'd make here, Senator, longer term, what does this all mean? I saw President Karzai's remark. We don't know how long and what type of security assistance program we're going to need in Afghanistan. We know it's going to have to be a long-term program. We don't know the level. As time moves on, we'll have a better understanding of what is their exact requirements. But what we also know as well is that for every one U.S. Army soldier or Marine that's deployed to Afghanistan right now, the cost ratio of that versus Afghan police and Army on the ground, it must be on the order of 20, 30, or 40 to 1. So a pretty good investment.
But again, I come back to, the president talked about July of 2011. Karzai's talking about 5 years before they're ready to take it over. Who's going to take it over between July of 2011 and the 5 years that President Karzai's talking about?
Well, I don't want to, I think President Karzai's inaugural address had said security throughout the country, a very comprehensive control of the security throughout their country.
Petraeus,
their army
you
police.
wanted to add to that, I think.
Well, I was really going to state the same thing, Senator. Again, that what's envisioned in July 2011 is the beginning of transition. What President Karzai is talking about is something that's much more comprehensive. And if I could also just say, Senator, again, I hope that you'll be able to attend the session with General McChrystal this afternoon, because I think you'll get some out of that, some clarity. We know what the operational campaign plan is, and we also know what the plan is to work with our civilian partners from Ambassador Eikenberry's embassy in carrying that out.